It's Terry at My Terrific Life. I'm back. I know we did a daily back in August. You have to excuse my background. I am in the break room of the cigar shop today. And I don't have my table to set up. So if I'm a little shaky, it's because you're in my lap. But I wanted to come back on. We had such a good time in August. And remember, I had said back in August that I knew September would be a little different. What I didn't realize was that I was going to need a hiatus. This YouTube thing of streaming every day is a lot. And hey, Thomas, how you doing? Thank you for hopping on. So yeah, I've decided that a little bit later time because I had issues with my internet for a minute. Um, And it seemed like every day around noon it would go down and out. I think it's because it was a shared internet and that everybody was on it at least by noon of the day. So I decided to make the time frame a little later, um, which works for me really well. I hope it works for everybody. If not, you can watch me again on the live stream or the recap. When you go back in the future, my future people that are watching, you can watch me again later anytime you want to. But the actual live stream is going to be 3 o'clock. And I've decided on Monday and Fridays. Monday and Fridays are the days I usually don't work anywhere. So if you know me personally, I'm doing a little bit of everything. So today I thought I better pop back on. Yeah, August took a lot of um, energy. I loved it though. I loved interacting with you guys. I loved our conversations that we had. But I know that I needed to balance it with the rest of my life. And Mondays and Fridays seem to be the best time frame. I was thinking about Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm like, no, let's do beginning of the week and kind of the end of the work week. I know Saturdays are a little bit crazy for everyone, even though, excuse me, that is a good day to stream. But Mondays and Fridays is what I've settled on. So from here on out, unless life happens, it's going to be Mondays and Fridays. Like I said, August was a lot. I had a lot of things at the end of August because I didn't even finish out August doing my lives. I think I was short by 3 days because I was traveling. I went to meet up in Michigan. I also I didn't think about that raid can behind me. Oh well. Uh, I also went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and visited a friend for a few hours. Well, the whole evening. We hung out together. I hadn't seen her in over 2 years. So that was fun. But all of that driving and socializing, think I am, but I am. It took its toll on me. So I had to kind of get back together, get myself back together physically, mentally, spiritually, all the things. So much so, those of you that are carnivores, hey, Dennis, how are you? I hope you're enjoying your trip. Yeah, Dennis is traveling too. So, Dennis, you know what I'm talking about, right? Dennis has been several places in the last week or so. Um, Car traveling traveling in itself takes a lot out of you. It takes a toll on you. So, and dealing with what I was dealing with, not that it was a bad thing, but it was, I just had to regroup. I just had to go within myself and rethink a lot of things and do what was best for me physically, mentally, and spiritually. So that's what I did. But I knew it was time to hop back on, especially out in these YouTube streets. You can't be gone for too long. Those of you who eat the way I do, the carnivore life, which I know Thomas and Dennis both do. If you see this band-aid on my neck, yeah, that is some oxalate dumping. So I don't know. I know, Thomas, you've never met me in person, but Dennis, you had, I had a little scar on my, that big. I think my, um, it was when I had my first oxalate dumping in 2023. That's when that appeared. It was swollen, it was itchy. That's carnivore. And if I had not just learned about being, it would have freaked me out. But fast forward to now, I think this is the result of me traveling to Michigan and Wisconsin. And for sure, when I was in Wisconsin, I ate salad and oxalates are in vegetables. So that with being tired and I had just gotten over having this cough or little virus or whatever I had. I just had to okay, now what is this doing? I don't know why I'm sideways. Let's try this way. Maybe this way will do better. um I just had to rest my body. Let's see, I gotta find my camera. Bear with me, guys. Is that it? Oh, look. There we go. All right, let's try this. No, I'm not liking this. Let me flip it back the other way. Hold on. Come on, my iPad. Now that's better. All right. So yeah, I figured I needed to. This started itching again and swelling up. I know, curse those oxalates, right? Um, and it's itching like crazy now. I wanted to lance it. When I first got it 2 years ago, I lanced it myself. I did the burning of the stainless steel needle and poked it. It wasn't as big as this got. This one got pretty big. And I actually went to emergency care, one of those places, and they were like, oh no, we don't lance. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I talked to my metabolic specialist friend, Denitra, and she said, okay, if it's not gonna, don't try to lance it yourself, even because it's so big. You don't want it to get infected. So what I did was she suggested putting salt on it. And since I use Redmond and it's such a natural, pure sea salt with minerals, I did that. So I rubbed it down in Redmond's, just the regular salt, not the seasoned salt. I rubbed it down in Redmond's, and that night it opened, and now it is going down. So when I'm out and about, I put a Band-Aid on it. I also use colloidal silver, which is a natural antibiotic. I spray that on it, and it is slowly going away. But I figured you didn't want to see a wound on my neck, so that's why I'm wearing a Band-Aid. So let's see what else. Yeah. Hi from North Kansas City, Missouri. I was just thinking about when you would be back. Oh yeah. Thanks, Dennis. Yeah. I knew it was time to come back. I just had to pull myself together for it. I still feel, I won't say under the weather. I still feel very tired. Like, I won't say tired, just a little lethargic. So I know my body's still fighting off some things, and probably this neck thing doesn't have it, it's not helping. But what I'm going to do, of course, is what I always do. I got bones yesterday from Ingles. I'm going to make me a bone broth tonight, and by Wednesday it'll be done. And I'm just going to start sipping that. That's my new, excuse me, that's my new reset food. Usually it's a ribeye. I've got a ribeye in the freezer, and maybe I'll grab one while I'm up in Morristown and grab another ribeye for today. I made some homemade chili, but of course I usually use a chili starter. I use ground beef, but then the chili starter has like crushed tomatoes in it and tomato sauce. It's really good though. It was perfect for this weather. I'm a fall baby and I love fall, the fall season and all the things. Excuse me. So I fixed that and it's good. But I know I also need to pick up my pork belly and eat a ribeye and kind of adjust my body. I've kind of been all over the place with my eating, especially for the last couple of days. For some reason, yeah, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Let's see what Thomas is saying. He says, I'm good at making a post for this Saturday. Oh, okay. Uh, yeah, we lost the feed for a little bit. I don't know what happened. I don't think it's my iPad. I just think the internet is wonky, and because I don't pay for StreamYard, it may not be the best connection. I'm not ready to pay for that yet. It's not in the budget. It is very expensive. But you know what I was thinking the other day? Maybe some of us newbies could go in together because I think you can share StreamYard with people. So I said I was going to do a collective email, like Thomas. Maybe I don't know if you're interested, and maybe I was thinking Lisa, just some of the newer YouTubers. Maybe if we all went in together, maybe we could get 4 people to split the bill for a year and see how that happens or what would happen with that. So that is a thought. Think about it. Anyway, what has everybody been into lately? I have been, like I said, I've been thinking deeply lately. I know I used to love doing the Mindset Monday, so Mondays might be still kind of similar to that. I have finally come to the realization, I guess again, but I'm actively doing it, of not allowing certain people to be in my space. Do y'all ever deal with that? I know all of us deal with the public in some form, whether we're out and about just grocery shopping or traveling, and sometimes you can't help but have certain people's energy around. But what I have come to realize is I don't have to keep them in that space. Prime example was I heard from a person this morning that she's an acquaintance, and it's nothing against her, but I am really paying attention to my intuitiveness. I realized how intuitive I really am as a person. And when there's something that's kind of off-putting, first I deep dive into me. I'm like, why is it off-putting? What has made that trigger for me? Why do I feel this way about a person? Was it something that that person said? Is it just something, again, in me that's triggering it? And now I actually pay attention to why I think that way. Because if I feel that way, because I'm normally a very positive person, I like everybody. I've always been like welcoming to most people in my life, and a lot of times to my own detriment. So this person that texts me, and she texts like maybe once a month, and light conversation. She's just checking on me because she hadn't heard from me. Um, but it goes back to a conversation she and I had probably about 3, 4, 5 months ago at the most, where she mentioned I said something about a character trait that I have. Like, for example, I said that Sometimes I am in my own head and I need space from people. Again, being an introvert, I'm learning to tell people this is who I am. What you see right here, this is me. This is how I function. I'm letting you know how I function as a person. And then it's up to you if you want to continue the friendship or whatever. Um, because when I act like this, I'm letting you know who I am at that moment. And I remember her response being, well, even though you might act like that, you shouldn't act like that. And that she was critical of it. And I had to that really rubbed me the wrong way. Because I'm like, no, I'm sitting in my truth. I'm sitting in my truth. I'm warning you that if I behave a certain way at a certain time, it's nothing against you. It's just the fact that I'm dealing with it and I need to deal it and I need my space. Where she was like, no, if you need your space, you need to let everybody know that you need your space. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you now, that's how I am. So I realized that every time I would hear from that person, it I don't want you in my space. She's a nice person. It's nothing against her. If I see her in public, I'm going to speak and talk to her. But I just don't need you in my personal space. It's something about you that my spirit is saying, eh, she just needs to be an acquaintance. So just let you know. And I've had a lot of things lately that have come up like that. And I'm good with now saying that no, I control my environment. I control my space. I control who I let into my life. Put in the chat if you've had to deal with something like that, or if you kind of think along those lines. I don't have to accept everybody in my life. At one time, I thought I had to. I thought, oh, you have to be a nice person. Growing up, I was told that. I was told that, oh, you're just, don't be so mean or don't be so dismissive to this person. Just be nice. Just be nice. Just be nice. And I think I'm a nice person, but I don't have to let you in my space. Just saying. Just saying. So I no longer am critical of myself for dismissing people. I had to dismiss a whole group of people just recently because I didn't like how they made me feel about myself. I'm like, why? Because of my niceness, are you treating me like a stepchild? I don't have to accept that in my life. I'm not a child. I'm a full adult, and my opinions matter. Matter. So I guess it's when you come to the realization, no matter how old you are, of your own value, of your own worth. Every day is a new challenge, right? You're going to encounter things that are good and not so good in your life. But the things that are not so good, you don't have to accept and you don't have to keep. And I am finally to the point where I just won't. I just won't. So, how is everybody? Looks like everybody's greeting each other in the chat. And if you're a person in the future, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you still enter the chat. You can talk as though we're still talking live, okay? I would love to hear your thoughts on this subject of not accepting everyone's energy in your space. I know some people are very quick to dismiss people and they're unapologetic about it. Sorry for moving this around. I'm trying to get y'all balanced here. There we go, and comfortable. Um, I know because I think I mentioned in another chat that my mom had high narcissistic tendencies. So I've battled that most of my life of feeling that I always had to accept whatever people put out towards me. And now I know I don't. I know I don't. And it feels good. It feels good to be to this point. It feels good to be to this point. So anyway, we're just going to talk lightly. I didn't mean to get that heavy and deep. Not unless y'all want to get that heavy and deep in the conversation, it's fine with me. But let's see, Thomas, I see that you're able to do your live streams again and interview people. That's cool, right? I like the fact that you're interviewing people. I want to start interviewing. And Thomas, if you want to come on my channel one day, you can. You know, mine is more of a lifestyles channel, but like I told speaking of, I was interviewed by Dr. Tony Hampton Saturday morning, and it should come out either this week or next week, I think he said. He's going to give me the link to it. He has a podcast and a YouTube channel. So I think it's going to come out on the podcast first and then on the YouTube channel second. Again, I'm still learning to navigate all this. But Thomas, I would love to have you on one day. Dennis, if you ever want to come on, you know you're always welcome to come on the channel. I know everybody's not about popping on social media like this, so um, it's okay if you don't want to. It's fine with me. But I know Lisa and I talk, which is Carnivore Whisperer. I've got to email her because I want her on. She, for me, I get. And we've briefly talked about it, but I feel her energy. I think even though from what I'm hearing of how her life has been, it was a little bit more intense than mine, but she grew up with this with a lot of similarities that I have. So she and I will probably chat. We just got to I want to invite her onto the channel for sure. I want to repay some of the people that I have been on their channel and get them on mine and do a collaborative with as well. So that's kind of where my channel is going. I want to do some more like interactive things. I want to do some more things in my tiny. Oh, I've done more decorating in my tiny. Uh, it's really feeling comfortable now. I've been working on an art wall. In fact, before I got here to the cigar shop, I'm not cigar shop. I'm literally just hanging out. Like I think I told y'all before, when I smoke a cigar and I've been sipping on coffee, it gives me a moment to think. Even though my tiny's very comfortable, you know, sometimes when you're in your home space, you just need a change of space. And for me, the cigar shop gives me that change of space. Um, so much so that's when I said, I got to go live. Let's see what time I'm going to do. Okay, this is it. And that's when I put it out there here at the cigar shop. So that's what it does for me. But yeah, I want to do more stuff like that, more collaboratives, because y'all just hearing me talk and chat and just sit here. That's one thing. Even though I know both of y'all like chatting, I know both of y'all like being in a chat. And I know that that's how I've met so many people just within other people's chats, which is really cool. This YouTube thing, man, it's not bad at all. I've got old videos that I still need to drop on my Instagram page and maybe do snippets of it on YouTube. I've recorded a lot. Again, y'all know me and editing don't work out well. That's why I like doing the lives. So, yeah, that's it. And so today, I don't really have a theme per se. I just knew I had to get back on YouTube and talk to y'all and let y'all know what was going on. Somebody, whose chat was I in the other day? I think it was Cindy. I always say Demanche, but I think it's Demanche. I meant to ask her how she says her last name. And everybody was like, Terry, we hadn't seen you in a while. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. My Monday routine usually is starting with old guy carnivore with his morning coffee. But yeah, I no lie, I've been sleeping in. It's like my body is telling me, shut it down, girl, for a minute. Shut it down. You've been a little busy. Shut it down and rest. So I'm trying to pay attention to what my body's saying. But I usually start with old guy carnivore, and then I go into two crazy ketos, and then I go into Chris Cooking Nashville, which I'm so proud of Chris. I'm so proud of Chris. I've been holding on to that information for, oh, wow, 6 to 8 months now that he just released about his neurodivergent self. And he finally announced it to the public, and I'm so proud of him. He did it so well. He's such a cool guy. He and Ash both are cool. Um, but yeah, I usually do that. And then, of course, in August, I was doing my lives, and then I would finish out the Monday night rollout, right? And then go into the evening. So I figured my lives on Monday would be near the end of all of that rollout. That way I won't coincide with anyone else's. And then I can finish looking at the rest of my lives myself in the evenings that I watch. So, yeah, Thomas, I was on Dr. Hampton's the other day. He is so cool. So I met Dr. So let me back up. I followed Tony Hampton. I've been following him since 2022 ish. Yeah, it may be 2021. I've been following him off and on for a while. I was introduced to him um, through Ade Fox, who used to have a YouTube channel called Black Carnivore. She was the first person. Okay, so little fact, and I may have mentioned before, there are three Black women that I have listened to that have changed the course of my life. A Day Fox with the carnivore, knowing that I wasn't a weirdo for wanting to be carnivore. Um, Stephanie Perry for changing my whole mindset on travel and the way life should be. And Jewel Pearson, who totally validated the reason I wanted to go tiny. Okay. So, yeah, I've been following those three people for a while now. And a day introduced Tony Hampton, I want to say back in 2021. So I followed him. And then he mentioned his son, Brandon, who I follow Brandon as well. Brandon has a podcast. Brandon dances salsa and lives in St. Louis, which is where I'm from, and went to Washington University, which I that's the big university in that area, and and he does his podcast sometimes in Spanish. So he's my whole other vibe. Y'all know how I feel about salsa. So yeah, I've been following Dr. Hampton for a while. So I got to meet him face to face in Kalamazoo, Michigan, at the meetup in Michigan that Robin Heron had. And I ended up sitting right behind him. And when I say we clicked, he, his wife, and we giggled and had such a good time while I was in Kalamazoo. I also got to meet, oh, I cannot think of anybody's name right now. Anyway, I got to meet him in Michigan as well. So that's the best part about going to meetups is you get to meet people that you see in the chat in person, in person. So yeah, that was really cool. But anyway, he asked me then, he said, "Hey, I like your energy," because I was up there to teach line dancing. People who know me know I don't really like line dancing that much. I'll do it. It's fun, but I get bored with it easily. I finally figured out why I get bored with it easily because it's so redundant of the steps. Where in salsa, it's always different because whoever you're dancing with, you two are making that connection and you're communicating with each other. And it's always the element of surprise. So I think that's what I like about salsa. Plus, I just like partner dancing better. I like dancing by myself. I can do that at home. So yeah, that's anyway, I digress. I went up there and I taught line dancing. I taught the infamous boots on the ground that everybody's talking about now. I did Cupid Shuffle. I did the wobble. I even did the old school, what we used to call the twine. Um, so I did that up there, but he liked the energy. And so he immediately asked me, would I be on his podcast? And I said, sure. And yeah, we connected. His wife and I connected. We just had a good time. It was as though I've known them all my life and I had just met them. I love people like that. That's the kind of energy I'm talking about that I like when I feel like, and it wasn't because they were who they were. It literally, genuinely felt as though I have known them for a while because of how receptive they were to me. And of course, again, I try to open my heart and be receptive to everyone. So yeah, we made a good connection. We made a good connection. So I told him it was on his podcast because I've been following him for so long. And we had a good conversation, a very good conversation. So it's some of the stuff that you've heard me talk about before about myself, and maybe some stuff that you haven't heard me talk about. I don't know. It was like we were in the room together. It flowed so easily. Flowed so easily. So I'm excited about that coming out. And of course, I'm going to ask him so I can shoot it over here to this channel and y'all can see it here and watch his channel. So if you haven't signed up for Dr. Hampton, please do. Tony is a plethora of information. In fact, he even looked at, would that be like telemedicine? He even looked at my oxalate scar and saw it, and he's like, "Oh, just do this." And I said, "Well, I'm doing this." He said, "Good, keep doing that," and blah blah blah. So between Dr. Tony and my metabolic specialist, Denitra, it's healing. It's healing. So it's nice to have people that know things, and it's nice to have people that know the way you eat and your lifestyle, and can just say, "Hey, girl, this is how you handle this issue." So that part's really nice. That part's really nice. Okay, let's see. Dennis has said, let's see what Dennis has to say here. I did a lot of introspection in my 30s. I think every decade you do, don't you? Um, because every decade, especially your new decades, you go, okay, what did I learn from the last one? And how do I want to be going forward, right? So he said he learned a lot of introspection in my 30s, realized I was a people pleaser. Yep, that's part of the trait, and would ignore my wants and feelings. Exactly, Dennis. I learned to say no, because no is a complete sentence, when I didn't want to do something. Pay attention to my wants. Yes. So, a little backstory to that. Um, I, at the age of 18, started having panic attacks. It's like it was just yesterday. I remember where I was, I remember who I was with, and I remember why I had the panic attack. First time ever in my life that I had one. And after that, it triggered a series of them the rest of my life until, well, really until I went carnivore. Every once in a while, I still feel it coming, like it wants to bubble up in a way, because that's how it feels, like it's wanting to bubble out of you. But because I have so much more clarity now with my life and in my brain matter, it really has helped to subside it. But yeah, I was 18, and it was the fact that I felt trapped and I wasn't allowed to say no. Even though I think I was saying, I don't want to do this. And it was actually with my mother. She's the one that triggered it. So I guess it's the energy that she always had in my life. If I feel that type of energy around me, I don't want any part of it. I love my mom, She was my mom. She was a wonderful person for the most part, but our relationship was very strained, and I've had to deal with a lot of things that came from that. I'm gonna put it that way. So, yeah, when I feel that energy, I don't want any part of it. I don't have to have it in my life. All right. But yes, the people pleasing part was definitely it because you always feel like you got to prove a point. You should never have to prove a point to people. Most people don't prove a point to you. Yeah. A complete sentence. I'm trying to see two different things. So now here's the rest of it. Now I do enjoy helping people because I want to, not because I have to, right? And Dennis, you do. You help a lot of people. Our community, y'all, that Dennis and I live in, that's the best part about it. We help those around us if we want to. It's almost been a year since we had a major flood in the city that we live in. And that really brought out the volunteer spirit in our community. Um, I was kind of new, but it actually got me out there um, meeting other people. When I found out I had a resource to get people water because we didn't have water. Well, we didn't have safe water. But I found that I had a source to get safe water and paper towels and toilet paper. It was almost like a mini pandemic just within our area because everything was flooded and damaged. It brought up my helping spirit. I love helping people. I'm like you, Dennis. I help those that I choose to help. And it's not that I'm trying to be mean to anyone else, but I guess again, it's that energy that if you I try, how do I want to state that? I still will help you if you give me that energy. I'm just way more cautious with it. Way more cautious with it. I'm back. I had to go to my phone. I might have to do that regardless. Thomas, I think you do on your phone. I help people now. Now you see me in two places. Hey, we're just going to stop this one. Okay, we're just going to stay on the phone. I do it because I want to help now, not because I have to help. And even Dennis is saying he avoids people that give you a bad vibe. Yeah. If you're condescending to me, if you're mean to me, if you're trying to belittle me, I don't have time for you. I just don't have time for you. If you're trying to just use me, I don't have time for you. I'm too busy living my best life, my terrific life, right? So anyway, people in the future, if you know of situations like that, share it with us in the chat where you have had to empower yourself to not be that people pleaser. Because actually, they're just users. I've even been in situations where here it is, I'm being nice, but I might have a bad day. And again, I don't feel like being bothered, like I told that one young lady. And I want to be to myself, oh, you've changed. Oh, why are you like that? Da, da, da. And they question you when you're just being yourself and you need a moment too. But yet they're not understanding for you, even though you've been there and understanding for them. I don't like that. I don't want this to turn into a gripe session. Anyway, I just wanted y'all to know that I am back. I will have themes. I think I want to keep the mindset part on Mondays. I really like talking about our thoughts and things like that. I I want to do a redo of cooking in my tiny since I kind of semi burned that dish that time. And now, so I've had to rearrange my kitchen again. And I saw a toaster oven. I have an air fryer, but I saw a toaster oven recently, today actually, because like I said, I've been out and about, that I might go back and get. Because there's a lot of other, it went up to 500 degrees. Now I have my Ninja, that smoker, and I just need to clean it out, y'all, and set it back up. And then I found at this tiny, my plug is in the front of the building and not on the side where I would normally cook. It's in the front near the road. So I guess I got to find my extension cord to bring it around to the side so I can be a little bit more private in cooking. But I also know that even though I don't mind cooking out in the elements sometimes, there are times I want to cook inside. So there's that. Hey, Elmira, how are you? How you doing, girl? I've been thinking about you. It was something you mentioned back in August that I was thinking about. I can't remember if it was something about mindset or it was about movement that brought you to mind. I have to rethink my thoughts on that. But yeah, I thought about you not too long ago. So, oh, you're out there doing a walk? Yeah, I've got to get back to my walking. I've been traveling and I have not been able to get back in my routine. My body has told me to chill for a second. So I am. I am chilling. Um, yeah. That's the other part I'm learning to do is listening to my body. I've got to. I've got to listen to my body. So I'm glad you're doing amazing. I'm glad you're out. Oh, maybe it was that. Let's see. You said that was it my movement accountability group, the co-movement sessions? Maybe so. Maybe so. And I think yeah. Oh yeah, exactly what she's saying. She said her body, your body said the same thing over the past 2 weeks. Yes. And like I said, I know it was because I was traveling. Um I was telling everyone I had been in Milwaukee or Wisconsin and then Kalamazoo, Michigan. And I did that all within a 3-day stint, 4-day stint. Yeah, a 4.5 day stint, 3.5 day stint. So that's a lot of traveling, and my body just shut down. Again, my body's reacting to it. This is an oxalate scar. Look up the word oxalate, and you'll see uh, what I'm talking about, Elmira. It's when because I eat more of a ketovore or a carnivore life, that if I introduce vegetables, sometimes, especially certain vegetables, if they have toxins in them from being sprayed, or just the fact that my body's not used to eating all of that, it will come out somewhere in your skin. So I developed a rash and a kind of a wound that I haven't had one of these in 2 years. So it just kind of reactivated it. I think that's another thing. My body is fighting this. It's fighting whatever virus I had before then when I had that cough. Remember, I was losing my voice and all that stuff. So I think my body's just saying, shut it down. And then the weather change. I'm loving the weather. Having the cooler mornings. I love it. So it's making me want to sleep in a little bit longer than I should. But according to my sleep study, because I'm still doing that, not every day, but just about every day, I'm getting the rest I'm supposed to be having. So I'm not that mad at it. And again, that mind shift change of thinking I always have to be busy. That's a mind shift change for me because I am by nature, or at least I thought it was by nature, a hustler. One that has to stay busy, one that has to be doing things, one that has to be creating things. So I'm like, wait, take that energy that you loved in August by being on YouTube and hustle your behind back on YouTube. So that's why I'm back. I am back. So let me go back to the chat here. She said she was sleeping. Lisa, I was just talking about you. Hey, girl. I was just saying that I've got to contact you. We've been talking about energy, and I was telling everyone before you popped on how much I connected with your energy, and I've never met you. Just your story, I can identify so much with that. And I know we mentioned it before that we need to do a collaborative, but for real, I would love to have you on this channel. Elmira, I would love to have you on this channel. I want to have more interactive conversations, not just y'all listening to me, not just y'all watching me doing my stuff. Like, yeah, I'm going to do a day in the life of me one day in a tiny and all that kind of stuff. But I love the connections. I love the conversation. So I'm inviting you and Elmira on my channel soon. I will email me. My information is in the chat. I mean, not in the chat, on my page, on my channel. You can do it on the My Terrific Life Gmail. I have two Gmail. Well, I have several Gmails. But anyway, do it there because I've got to start making myself look at that Gmail more. And if you have tried to um, reach me on that one, I will go check it soon. You know how you have to create new habits? Well, that's one of my new habits. Thomas has my old Gmail because I had not created one, especially for this channel. But it's getting there, y'all. Baby steps. And I'm just glad you rock with your girl with me being so new and me being such a neophyte on these YouTube channel streets. So I appreciate y'all coming on. Um, Yeah, I was telling them also, Lisa. I'm just doing a recap. Lisa and Amara, since y'all just popped on, that I'm going to try to go live every Monday and Friday now. Those are the 2 days that I don't want to work. I just don't want to. So recently, y'all, this is how quirky I am. You know, we had a Monday where we talked about how quirky we are. Since I'm semi-retired, right, I feel like I can choose my schedule. And I'm also learning to just ask for what I want. It's kind of like what you said earlier, Dennis. I just ask for what I want. And surprisingly, it's either, we said this on the Mindset Monday too, it's either a yes or a no. I don't know why for years I would just kind of mentally go, well, it could go this way or it could that. Just ask. It's either a yes or a no, right? So if it's a yes, then you proceed with your next two questions and make that a yes or no. So, with that being said, I now no longer want to work on Mondays and Fridays, period. So, that's the best 2 days I have discovered because I was going to throw a Wednesday in there too, but I'm like, No, I would have to maneuver too much. I'm not about hustling that hard anymore, y'all. And when I say hustle, I don't mean it in a bad way. So I hope y'all aren't taking it that way. But back in 2019, I was a full time teacher, full time real estate agent, worked part time at a law firm in their IT department, taught salsa dancing, and had a product line that I was developing for cigar smokers. 5 things. Then I was wondering why I had gained so much weight and was so tired and was losing myself. I can tell my body has said, you still regrouping from all that, y'all. So being semi-retired, and I say semi-retired just because I do work. I still can work online as a professional tutor, even though I have not signed up for any of those engagements this school year. I will, probably in October. But I wanted to get some of my traveling done first, and I didn't want to have to juggle my schedule because of it. So, that part. Even when I do it, and I've been looking at some of the schedules that they are offering, and one of them has a Monday on it. I don't want to do no Monday. I don't want to work Monday and Friday. So, what I have learned since I've been with that company for this is going into my second year, there are always opportunities because we're online and because we're contract workers. Uh, People don't always fulfill all their contracts. So I know sometime in October, I will pick up a schedule and I'm claiming it. I'm throwing it out there. So when y'all see me on live going, guess what, y'all? I picked up a contract that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I only want those 3 days. That's it. That's it. So I recently applied for Sprouts. I don't know if y'all have Sprouts in your area. It's a grocery store. It's kind of like a smaller Whole Foods. I really like Sprouts. They have a little bit of everything there. And they just opened up in Knoxville. Well, it was so weird to actually tell the lady, she was like, you want to work on Mondays? I'm like, no. And then she went through each day. And then she got to Friday. You want to work on Fridays? No. Do you want to work on Saturdays? I said, maybe twice a month. Because honestly, I'd rather work here at the cigar shop. It's way more fun. And I don't have to drive as far. And she said, Sundays? No, don't want to work on Sundays. So we'll see how that works out. We see how that works out. I've never worked in a grocery store before. I was telling someone at a party that I was at Saturday night. It's kind of cool being where I am in life right now because I can pick and choose where I want to be, per se. It's even though I've done that for a little bit, for right now at this moment, it feels even more different because I'm not doing all the things that even I was doing last year. Last year's hustles were the cigar shop and then the online. Mostly the online, I was trying to pick up as many contracts as I could with that, and then having to manipulate them around if I wanted to go somewhere, and making sure that I had my internet with me. So if I went car camping, like I guess the car camping trip back in January when I went to Tampa taught me because I worked just about the whole time. And the day that I actually had free was the last day of the event. So I missed out on a lot. And that didn't make me happy. So because I knew I had the Wisconsin trip and the Michigan trip, and then the next one's the Mexico trip coming up, I'm just kind of doing things here and there. I also do, if y'all didn't know, I do DoorDash. So I dashed a little bit yesterday. That was kind of cool because it gave me a chance to learn a new area. I'm new to East Tennessee anyway, but I learned some new neighborhoods. I found another lake I can go visit and check out just on my own. I found new communities. I found where the hot spots are. Yeah, for a 2.5 hour dash, it wasn't that bad. It was kind of cool. So I was going to attempt to do it today, but I quickly learned that the smaller cities just don't have the dashing opportunities. Not even Sevierville, which is, where not that far from Gatlinburg and stuff. So it's a lot of touristy things. And I will not do Sevierville at night because it's very mountainous, and I am not going down them curves and up those mountains at night, not being familiar with it. So I'm just not doing that. But Knoxville, I guess, is my destination for that. So tomorrow, I might do a little door dashing. I'll have to get up a little bit earlier and go out and see what's what. Because once it gets sunset, I'm back home. As far as door dash, I might not be back home, but I'm not door dashing at night. No, that's not your girl's thing. That's not what I'm doing. So, anywho, so I guess now my hustle is a cigar shop. The contracts that I will pick up in October and door dashing. So, yeah, I mean, again, I'm still in a weird space. How about you guys? Do y'all do anything now that you just don't want to do? Or you're going to change that in the future? Or do you feel like life is pretty good exactly how you have it set up right now? Put it in the comments. Let's chat about it for a second. I would love to hear what y'all are doing right now and not just me talking. Oh, yeah, Elmira, I was traveling much. I was. And it was all in the car. It was all in the car. So let's see. Elmira said, let's see. She said, I was having that chat with my boyfriend that we can rest and be quiet at times. I know. Why is that so hard for us to do sometimes? Hey, why is that so hard for us to do sometimes? I don't know why. I know as a child, that's when I was my most creative, when I had that opportunity to just sit and be with myself. And now when I sit and be with myself, I'm like, oh, wait, I'm sitting being with myself. Then all these thoughts can come through. But that it clears your mind to think. It clears your mind to be creative, right? And it also clears your mind to rest. We all need that rest. Let's see what else is in the chat. Okay, great, Elmira. Good. I'm just now catching up. I'm just now catching up because I'm on my phone now because my iPad kept going out. I guess the phone is the best. The phone and the laptop, but the laptop was going out a lot in August, so I don't know. I don't know. Still learning these YouTube streets. So she says, let's do it. Schedule a chat. I'm down for the next 30 days to do it. Cool beans. So if you are free on a Monday or a Friday, obviously this time is working for you on a Monday. So let's do that. Let's do that. I will be very intentional in planning that real soon with you. Real soon. Let's see. Oh, Lisa, she said the same thing here. I feel a connection with you too, Terry. I was worried when I didn't see you on here. Oh, and I think, yeah, it was you that said it. Was it on Cindy's chat the other day? You were saying, I missed you. And I'm like, oh, I was missed. It's nice to be missed, right? But yeah, we do miss each other when we're not in each other's life, even in these YouTube streets. We miss each other. So yeah, I just had to take a hiatus. I was tired, and I'm trying to listen to my body and recognize when I'm tired. It's just like when you learn to pay attention to your hunger signals and all those things. We've ignored ourselves so long It's nice when you intentionally tune back in to yourself. Life is just so much better when you do. Just so much better when you do, right? So let's see. Let me keep going in the chat here. Oh, I like it. And I think you were saying this too. Just ask, right? Just ask for what you want. Again, for so long, being a people pleaser, you forgot how to ask for what you want. After a while, you didn't even know what you wanted. Like, I want this one little curl to stop sticking up like that. But anyway, you forget how to ask for what you want. But then when you come to that realization that you can just ask for what you want and get it, that's so empowering. It's so empowering. So yeah, I was doing the most, Elmira. I was doing the most. And was wondering why I was not that happy and why all this cortisol increased. And I don't know if you ever saw my before and after picture, but yeah, yeah. Girl, what you just said, I honestly feel that I feel that's one reason COVID came, to slow us down. So here's my thought on that. Everyone was going into 2020 talking about, yeah, I had 2020 vision. I'm going to see things clearly now. And God just said, yeah, you about to. You are about to see things real clearly. And that was, even though it was devastating for so many people, so I never want to make light of that, it was also a moment of spiritual vision and clarity on what life really should be like. It slowed me down a lot. It made me realize what I started making me realize. I'm still learning myself, but it started making me realize what I wanted from life, who I wanted in my life, where I wanted to be in my life, and not what was considered the standard American wants of life. Who and what was I really, you know? It made me realize that it was okay to be me, that this quirky person named Terry was a cool person to be around and be with and had a purpose. 2020 did a lot for so many people. And I think that's why you still see a shift, a mindset shift in so many people. You are so correct on that statement. So correct on that statement. Yeah, Lisa said, wow, that was a lot. You're right, girl. And I thought that was okay. Because I don't know if y'all remember, people were like, yeah, I'm doing the thing. I'm really out here hustling and I got my hustle on. And it was a hustle culture. And I see some of that coming back. I just don't want that much to do with it. I'm not hustling to make a whole bunch of money anymore. I mean, that during that time, I was making some money. No lie. But I've also learned that that's not the most important thing in my life. My relationships, my spirituality, my environment, those are the things that are the most important to me. My encounters, my experiences, that's what's the most important thing in my life. Money has its place, no lie. I like money. I like money a lot. But I don't that's not the most important thing to me because I'm not about the things anymore. The whole reason why I did what I did and sold the house and moved to Tiny, I'm not about the things anymore. I'm about, like you guys in this chat, I'm about learning who you all are. And through learning who you all are, helps me to learn more about me. Y'all know, y'all have experienced things I haven't experienced. I've experienced things you haven't experienced. We can still learn from each other, right? So that's what I'm about. That's more what I'm about. So let's see here. Let me finish the chat here. I know Knoxville was crazy with the UT game on Saturday. Yeah, it was. I actually um, saw like the last part of it when they lost. Even though I'm surrounded by orange and I'm looking around the corner, make sure I don't get hit because I'm in UT territory. I'm not a UT person. I'm not that big on college football. I like going to the games. I like live games. I even like live pro games. But I'm more apt to watch a live pro game on TV than I am a college game. Up here is so different because they bleed orange. Everything revolves around college football up here. Pro games, it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. But college games, you better sit down and be quiet during a college game and cheer. And that's it. That's all you can do. But yeah, it was wild. And like I said, I even Ubered a little bit then. Not Ubered. I keep saying Uber, but dashed a little bit before the game because I was waiting for an event to happen. I dashed a little bit, then went to the event, danced my salsa, and hung out with friends, and then came home. So yeah, it was a good time to be door dashing. Football season is going to be my season to do a little bit more dashing around. Again, I found neighborhoods I didn't even know existed in Knoxville and communities. Like I found a new Ingles yesterday. A real nice one, a real nice one. So yeah, and Ingles is our like a regional grocery store, and I love Ingles. I usually only go to the one here in Morristown, but yesterday I found another one in Powell, Tennessee. I didn't know nothing about no Powell, Tennessee, but that's where I ended up at. Let's see. Elmira says the only thing she wants to change. She said the only thing I want to change more performances and host live in person events. Okay. Well, y'all, you know the only way to do it is to sit down and think it through. And I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. More performances and host live in person events. You just so like especially when I started this channel, my mindset was I watch a whole bunch of different creators, content creators. And some of their stuff I really liked, and I was picking and choosing parts, and I thought mine had to look similar to them until I realized your strength is in your individuality. Yeah, there's some basic things in these YouTube streets you got to do, but your strength is in your individuality. You may think of something that nobody else has thought of before. Sit down and just do it. People kept saying, just do it, Terry. And that's why I did August the way I did, to make me more comfortable in front of you all talking, no matter what my background is, no matter if it's a can of Raid right back there or a chalkboard or paneling or air fryer. None of that matters for the channel I have. Only thing that matters is if y'all are watching and listening to our converse or and enjoying our conversation. The only thing that matters is if I'm being purposeful and maybe helping change mindsets or opening up new thought patterns or exposing you to a different lifestyle than you're used to, and you doing that for me. That's the only thing that's important. So that's why I stopped overthinking it, and that's why I just went on and popped on the live to say I'm back. I'm back. I'm in the kitchen of the cigar shop, but I'm back, y'all. I am back. So yeah, just think it through. Think it through. Lisa says, I'm learning to be still. Girl, that right there is a mouthful. In fact, I have on my arm, I know you can't read the little writing. It reminds me constantly, be still and know that I am God. Psalms 46:13, I think it says, or 10, verse 10. Be still. That's the first part. Be still. Because it's in the being still that you can hear if you're like me and a believer, you hear the Holy Spirit. It's being still that you can clear your thoughts. It's in the being still that sometimes it just makes you wait. Because sometimes we're so hurried just to react. Back to our conversation in August, instead of respond. Being still does all of that. Okay, I got stuck on that first part. Let me finish it. I'm learning to be still, really learning to love all of me. That's why I know we connect, girl. We connect. We connect. We're so in the same space. It's okay to rest. We were taught that was being lazy. Yes, and I've got to get out of my conversation. I think I told Dennis the other day, I said, I'm having a lazy day. I'm having a lazy weekend. I'm having a lazy. Define lazy. Lazy is not who we are. Lazy is somebody that doesn't have any ambition. We all are ambitious to a certain extent, right? We all have things we want to do in life. So we're not lazy. It's okay, like you just said, to rest and just be still. Yeah. Whew. That hit me right here in mi corazon, in my heart, right there. Yeah. Lisa also said, yes, Terry, listening to our bodies is so important. It's not a selfish thing at all. So, yeah, your body starts reacting. And it's funny how this conversation is going full circle. That's why I got the Band-Aid on my neck. It's oxalate dumping. It's also my cortisol increased at the end of August because of my traveling and because of some situations I had to deal with. Some both personal situations, one family, one not family, but still personal situations. Life gives you enough drama. So those that like to seek drama, I am not that person. Life happens enough by itself, drama by itself, but your body reacts to it. And I honestly think I am still in the frame of mind and body that I'm recouping from it. It was a lot, y'all. Mentally, it was a lot. Spiritual attacks were happening too. That was a lot. It was just a lot. So, yeah, that's why I have this thing on my neck. That's why I'm having an itchy rash reaction. That's why I feel some cortisol spikes in my body. That's why I've actually been craving some carbs. And that's why I'm trying to take care of myself and going to put that bone broth on tonight so I can have it Wednesday and sip on it all day. That's why I'm going to stop at Ingles and grab me another ribeye. Even though I got one in the freezer, I'm going to grab me another one and I'm going to grab me some pork belly. Because for my body, I need that as my reset. For my spirit, I always do my morning devotion. But even that got kind of off schedule. And I'm having to get that back on schedule. Um, Speaking of that, my devotional that I follow on my Bible app now has one at night. And I've done it I signed up for it for the last week, but I've only been able to do it 3 times. I've only allowed myself to be able to do it 3 times. I'm going to put it that way. Well, one night I couldn't because I was out. But okay, I digress. I did it last night and turned off the TV and just listened to it because it's very calming voices. They're actually reading the scripture to you, and it's made for calming your mind before you sleep and putting your trust in God before you sleep. When I say that was powerful, and then looking at my sleep study, saying how calm I slept last night, it's going to be more of an intentional practice from now on. An intentional practice from now on for me. So, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Let's see. What do I see? I do see Miss Leah Janae. Hey, girl. How are you? Hello, beautiful. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Even with a scar on my neck. How are you? I haven't talked to you in so long. Y'all, if y'all don't know Leah Janae, you need to follow her too on YouTube. She's in these YouTube streets. And I was just telling, in fact, since a lot of us newbies are on here today, we probably need to go behind the scenes and talk. Maybe we can all go in on subscribing to or buying this StreamYard thing. I know it's to do it by myself, it is not in my budget because I ain't hustling that hard to make it in my budget. But maybe if we all did it as a group, just a thought, throwing it out there, throwing it out there. But Leah, how are you and the babies doing? I hope y'all are doing great. It's good to see you on here. Thank you for joining us today. We're talking about some mindset stuff, Leah, and I know you've been through some mindset stuff. In fact, how do I want to say this? I'm trying to be nice on these YouTube streets. Some of the things that I went through back in August, Leah wasn't a part of it, but she was a part of it. I don't even know if she knows she was a part of it, but I think she and I both made a very good decision on it. I know I'm talking in circles because I never want to just blatantly say something on YouTube, right? But yeah. So, girl, I'm so glad you jumped on and joined us today. Let's see. Let's see. Thomas says, and I know y'all are talking in the chat, but I'm still trying to catch up with the chat. Lisa, how did the shirt and hat turn out? Could you send me a picture so I can see my first customer? Oh, you got merch? I didn't know that, Thomas. I'm gonna have to look at that myself. Um, I did my own merch. I don't know if you saw it on my little thumbnail. I made my own shirt with my own little My Terrific Life. And my daughter is like, oh, look at my mommy having merch. Oh, that's so cute. I have not outsourced that yet because I think I got to have something clever on it. But I wore it for me. So when I speak in public and go to different events, it's my identifier for me. So I wore it in the Kalamazoo thing. Uh, in fact, all of us who had channels up there and were speaking, we had our own paraphernalia on so that I guess we could be identified, even though you know our faces. But anyway, it was nice to have my own merch. So Thomas, I'm gonna have to check yours out because that's one of the things I need to develop soon. I just need to sit down and develop all this stuff now that I'm getting my rest and clearing my head again and have released a lot of the negative energy that has been in my life lately. So yeah, that's going to be that's on my list of things to do too. Baby steps. Don't have to do it all at once, right? So let's see. Lisa said, I'm going to wear it on my next video, Thomas. I love the shirt. It's so cute. Oh yeah, I want to see that. I'm going to have to check that out. I'm going to have to check that out. I'm catching up, y'all. Right, Myra. Myra said, yeah. Yup. Yup. God showed us. 2020 is like, y'all want perfect vision? I just remember seeing all those memes and stuff. 2020, I'm gonna walk into 2020 with perfect vision. I'm gonna have all my clarity. I'm gonna da 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 da. Yeah, 2020 showed us, God showed us perfect. He said, I'm gonna show you some vision. Show you some vision. So let's see. Let's go right here. Carnivore Whisperer. I love that name you chose for that. She said, I'm learning there's power in our words. I've always said I'm good with money and I've been blessed. I need to talk positive in all things. Yes, that is such the key. And Lisa, what I have found is those of us who walk with that spirit, unfortunately, we attract those who want to tear us down. They don't like the fact we walk in that positivity. I'm seeing that because my family has been attacked several times because myself and my kids have that spirit within us. And we are currently fighting that as we speak on so many different levels. But the best part is because we are who we are, we're so resilient. And because we know who our power truly comes from, yeah, we can fight it. Because no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Let me keep going. I think that is that all that's in my chat right now. It's hard to see. I think that's it. But yeah, guys, I have talked over an hour. Oh my goodness. Thank y'all for joining me today. I'll be back on Friday. And I know before I named it Free Fall Friday, if y'all get honestly help me with this. I can I don't know if I want to label like I did in August, the Mindset Monday, Free for All Fridays. They were cute and purposeful for that. But I honestly want us to be able to just chat like this. I want to be able to, again, show some of my life, show some of I know my day in the life of living tiny. That'll have to be a video. It'll be like a short or something like that. I will do that. But yeah, if y'all have some ideas, I would love for you to share that with me. Again, I will be contacting a couple of you, 3 of you for sure. Um, and thank you guys again for tuning in. I think I might go smoke one more little bitty cigar because they have the little petite. And I guess I will see you guys on Friday. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all later. Y'all, I'm back. I'm back. Bye.